Well, I could talk about pilgrims and turkey and how you're probably anxious about hosting everyone over at your house and having to cook and stuff. But instead, I'm going to talk about how mean my mom was. What? That's her words, not mine. She would say, my brother and I would be eating supper, and we'd go, "Mom, can we go play outside?" Mean mom, "No. You have to finish your supper first." "Okay." "Hey, Mom, can I have an hour and a half on the computer?" Mean mom, "No. You have to do your homework first." "Okay." And then I'm reminded because my mean mom would say, I remember when we got our Nintendo Wii one Christmas, and my brother and I wanted to play it, but we had to finish our thank yous first. We had to write all of our thank yous. "Mom, can we play Nintendo now?" Mean mom, "No. You have to finish your thank yous first." So we had to write thank yous for all the gifts that we've gotten from grandma and aunt and uncle and everyone. So I started to realize that, all right, this is just how things have to be done. I have to write a thank you for everything. That's just what you gotta do. But I soon realized that seminary did the same thing. Like, we were told you have to write a thank you for everything you receive. And I was finally shaped and finally formed as I grew up and realized this is not just about getting a gift and I gotta send a thank you back. It's about having gratitude and about having thanksgiving. And when I started to realize this was an actual virtue and this was something that can really change a person's life, it really set me on a whole different course. My first year in seminary, or first theology at Mundelein, we had a teacher who taught us theological reflection, Dr. Kate Wiskus. She talked about a friend of hers who was one of those types of moms, one of those types of women who everything bad could possibly happen to her health-wise, family-wise, but yet she persevered and yet she continued to march through life and ended up being successful and healthy. Anyway, on her refrigerator every morning she had a phrase, and it said, "I am not grateful because I am happy. I am happy because I am grateful. I am not grateful because I am happy. I am happy because I am grateful." And I thought, wait, I don't like trite phrases that you can make a poster out of. Why do I like this? Why do I like this so much? And I realized that it's because it's an attitude shift. It's a completely different way of looking at your life and a completely different way of running your heart. I'm not grateful for all the things that I've been given. I am happy and I love my life because of my sense of gratitude that I have started to develop. And I invite you to. I'm kind of selling something right now. I'm selling gratitude. It's probably the greatest weapon, the greatest help, the greatest power-up, whatever you want to think of it as, against comparison, against despair, and against any lack of joy. A psychologist friend of mine said that comparison is the lack of joy. Comparison is the lack of joy. When we compare how much we have, either physically, like all of our possessions, or more so, it's going to happen when we look at our own selves and look at our heart, or when we look in the mirror. I don't have that. I'm not enough in this area, or I'm lacking this. I'm comparing myself to someone else, to a thing, to something else, or to a false version of myself that doesn't even exist. I look in the mirror some days and, I'm 7 months into this. I'm still trying to figure out. I think I don't pray enough. Well, compared to what? Or I'm not tall enough. Compared to what? Yeah, I'm comparing myself to either someone or something or a false Father Jacob that doesn't even exist. And so I invite you to do that as well, to look in the mirror, look at yourself, look at your heart, and look at what, rather than focusing on what you don't have, focus on what you do have, what God has given us. And it's not the same as, I remember I've been condescendingly told, well, at least you don't have as bad as Jesus. He was on the cross for you. At least you don't have it that bad. I'm like, well, no, because I'm still comparing myself. Or, in someone else's house, it's always worse. Well, I'm still comparing. That's not gratitude. True gratitude is not about you looking at other people. It's about you giving thanks for the things that God has given you. Delight in Him from whom you have received everything that delights you. Delight in him from whom you have received everything that delights you. St. Augustine said that. We gobble up so much of the given, we forget to let ourselves be gobbled up by the giver. I said that. We now are here on Thanksgiving, and we look at all the things we have, we look at all the things we don't have, but the very reason we're here today, you don't have to be here right now. This is not a holy day of obligation. Hey, sit down. I see you in the back. Someone tried to leave. I'm just kidding. You don't have to be here, but just the same way that I didn't have to say, yes, my mom was making me send those thank yous, but that was to teach me. Yes, the seminary was making me send those thank yous to teach me something, but I didn't have to do any of that. You don't have to have Thomas baptized. You know that, right? That's what Thanksgiving is. You don't have to be here. You don't have to receive communion today, but you're here because you're thankful. You're here because you're looking at all the things that you have been given by God, and you want to say, thanks, Lord. And in the same way, he is giving his entire self to us on the altar in bread and wine. And so the least we could do is, come to church. So I'm very thankful, and I've started to look at how gratitude has influenced my life, and I hope that you'll do the same, because we've been given so much, and we've been blessed with so much, that when we have gratitude, and when it starts to shape our hearts, it's going to start to shape our actions and our hands and our feet, because when we realize how much we have, then we can give so much to others. In the same way, Jesus knew everything that he had, and he was able to give everything to everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. Amen.